Millie Molly! Millie Molly!
Bye-bye.
Good riddance.
Oh, I'm happy to chat with Chandlo. Let's meet by the campfire. What's going on, Chandlo?
Trithany, you know about history and, like, ancient societies and stuff. Shelda said Snorpy's lost in a maze of delusion. But what if it's not a delusion? What if there really is a Grumpinati?
Well, I've done some research on my own, and near as I can tell, there's no such thing. At least not in the way you see in the movies. There's no shadowy cabal secretly in control of the world. Real conspiracies can happen. And heck, there was an old literary society called the Grumpinati. But aside from the name, it's not at all what Snorpy talks about.
Are you sure? I mean, I've seen Snorpy's charts, and they kinda make sense.
Kinda is the important word here, though. Look, there are points of data on that chart that are real, but it's all those strings between them that are made up.
No, those are real. We got them from Gramble.
Oh, Chandlo, that's not, what I...
Let it go, my child.
Point is, Snorpy might be a talented engineer, but he's no historian, and he's certainly not immune to bias, you know?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I hope you're right. Thanks for talking to me, Triff Dog.
No problem. And if you ever want to know more about failed conspiracies throughout history, you know where to find me.
Oh, I suppose it was only a matter of time. Tell Chandlo I will be with him shortly. Are we here to speak ill of my brother? I will gladly go first. Complaint 1 of 294.
No, that's not why I asked you here. But I do want to talk about Snorpy. He wasn't like this when we were kids, right? I mean, he wasn't always so on edge, was he?
Snorpington has always had his imagination and his moral compass. But no, I suppose he's gotten markedly more distraught since our project's dissolution.
What happened between you two? I mean, I heard some of it from him, but I always wanted to hear your side too. And Snorpy doesn't really like me talking to you.
Oh, I'm aware. I have a pile of threatening letters to that effect. However, I will gladly take this opportunity to set the record straight. We were working together on a government-funded research project. Advanced prosthetics that are 10 times stronger than an ordinary Grumpus. But our dear Snorpington discovered that the government had less than savory plans for that technology. And despite my protestations, he tried to make those plans public knowledge.
Well, yeah, I don't blame him. Even you gotta admit, that's pretty jacked up, dog.
Am I the world's only optimist? That technology would have saved lives. If it must either exist with some consequences or not exist at all, I think the choice is clear.
Easy to say when you aren't the one living with the consequences.
Yeah, where did you come from? Shoo! Unfortunately, Snorpington agreed with you. He tried to play whistleblower, but before he could make a sound, we were both fired. And after that, there was a campaign to slander both of us, to discredit any allegations he might still make.
So, there really was a conspiracy against you two?
If you must call it that. But only the most boring sort with paperwork and lawsuits.
Still, that means it's not all in his head.
Don't mistake justification for reason. Snorpington has moved well beyond the realities of our situation.
All right, Flifty. Thanks for telling me all that.
Happy to have enlightened you. Honestly, I expected this conversation to involve more shouting and headlocks.
Nah, not this time. We're cool. But hey, we should talk more often. And maybe I can show you how to headlock me.
Perhaps. But for now, my work beckons.
Bro, I feel like there's a huge weight on top of me, and it's not the kind I can lift. Snorpy never would have come to Snacktooth if I didn't push him into it. All I do now is make him exercise and ignore all the stuff I don't understand. Shelda's right. I don't know enough to really help him. And thinking I do is only making it worse. I'm gonna stay here. Until everybody's ready, anyway. I need some time to just think. Later, bro.
This shrinking spice intrigues me. What substance could produce such a pronounced effect on Bugsnax? From what I observe, it was manufactured by ancient grumpuses, so surely it'll be simple to recreate. Oh, please. Bring an ancient grumpus to the present and they'd be utterly lost. Anything they can do, I can do fundamentally better. Frivolities aside, I require a sample of shrink spice for study. Bring a specimen here and place it into my trough. It seems this substance becomes quite volatile when removed from its origin. A flaw in its design, perhaps. How troublesome. I may need to employ a more direct method of study. By which I mean, bring another sample here and throw it at me before it combusts. I am wearing goggles, aren't I? Since the spice causes no apparent harm to Bugsnax, I am reasonably certain that I will be fine. Ah! The goggles! They do nothing! Ah! If you couldn't tell, that was rather unpleasant. However, having experienced that, I have learned two very important facts. One, the substance does not work on grumpuses. Two, I should not do that again. I am no closer to obtaining a usable sample of shrink spice. However, I believe we may learn something from the local Bugsnax. Use the shrink spice to capture one Chedorb and one Milimochi. Then transform me with those specimens.
Milimochi.
Unbelievable.
Shadow.
Yum, yum, yum. Intriguing. Decently competent work. Unfortunately, any remnants of the spice seem to have been digested, but this too yields interesting results. In their shrunken state, the Bugsnax here are not fundamentally different from those on Snacktooth proper. I am still forming my hypotheses, but I presume the process is endemic to this island, and the spice was created to inhibit it. None beyond the usual. After all, Chandler ate a Bunga Royale as soon as we arrived, and he seems alive and well. It will be simple. I am merely exhausting every avenue of study. It's called being thorough. Look it up. Now, I've observed chocolants capable of maintaining a small size. This may present a more stable vessel for the spice. Regrettably, I must not eat it, delicious though it may be. So bring one to my science trough, please. At last, a viable sample! Now I can extract the powder and finally put this mystery to rest. This requires my utmost concentration, and you ask far too many questions. You may return when I've found my answer.
Bunger!
Blast it all! I do not need your distractions. I've obtained dried particles of plant slurry, but I have no way to analyze them. It's like living in the Stone Age out here. Perhaps if I had a particle separator, an electron microscope, and a degree in botany. Bah, plants are not my area of expertise. You cannot be serious. I would sooner eat my bow tie than listen to a word of Shelda's advice. Afraid? I simply do not want to waste my valuable time being lectured on archaic moral dichotomies. Yes, I admit that I am frustrated. Under normal circumstances, I could do this without assistance. Very well. Since you clearly won't stop pestering me about this, let us go see Shelda.
One senses the reek of a foul presence.
Cease your hostilities, Shelda. I am here on business. I've been informed that you may possess a rudimentary understanding of phytochemical reactions, which I am in need of.
Strike the stars from the sky! The Wicked One has come to me for guidance. But surely one's ancient ways are far too primitive compared to the miracles of modern science.
I do not appreciate your sarcasm. If you do not wish to help me, then simply say so and be gone with you.
One would never. It is one's path to offer guidance to all who seek it, no matter how undeserving they may be.
Very well. Then I require an analysis of the shrink spice. Tell me what is in it, and be quick about it. Please.
Yes. A poultice made in the herbological traditions of the mother. Though its purpose I cannot condone. If that is what you desire, then one will enter the olfactory realm to find the answers you seek.
Waft. Don't sniff.
I know that. So many subtle aromas. Witch hazel, cinnamon, black tea, each a natural remedy for inflammation. And among these astringents, Oil of vitriol.
Oil of vitriol? That's sulfuric acid, a common but powerful desiccant. That certainly explains the burning sensation.
Floofty, did you tell the journalist to throw acid at you?
Well, this has been surprisingly not a waste of time. I am going to leave now. I may call on your services again.
And you're welcome.
Now that that's over.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. I'd say it's high time we get to exploring. I see another maze blocking the way deeper into the jungle. I bet if we solve it, we'll find something real exciting. I'll go ahead and make my way over to the maze. Meet me there when you're ready for some puzzling. Phew, kinda nice to be away from the others for a minute. The arguing can be, distracting, you know?
Chin, chin, chin.
Oh, well, I think Shelda's got a lot to teach us. It's just exhausting to get a real answer out of her. Then she can be, tad judgmental. Gosh, I don't know. I feel like I ought to be taking more of a leadership role out here. But I do all my best work when I'm alone. Anywho, no use dwelling on that. Looks like you went and solved that maze before I could even get here. Whew, let's go inside, scan around, and see just what kind of ruin this is. Chocolate! Judging by what we've seen, I'd say this was a communal living space. One of the few that wasn't utterly destroyed anyway. And gosh, technology and culture are so much more advanced than what we've seen so far. This city must have been the center of Stone Grumpus society. And at the very center, the temple, possibly led by a priestess of Mother Nature. That's a great question. There's definitely easier ways to lock a door. But seeing as this was the height of their craftsmanship, it's possible they built those mazes just to show off. I don't know too much, but I'll say it's one of the world's oldest practicing religions. I'm sure Shelda could tell you more about it. But on that subject, it's odd I never saw hide nor hair of Mother Nature back on Snacktooth. It's possible she showed up relatively late in their culture, adding to the existing worship of Bugsnax. Oh, I thought you'd never ask. Never look a gift temple in the gateway, as Grandma used to say. I'll meet you by the entrance, yeah?